my upgrades that I gave to my figures and revealing them as we go on. So when I built the set, first thing that I did was I added upgrades to the figures to the main four. But today we're gonna be going on from from easiest to probably the most complicated. So today's figures are Ben Grimm, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Reed Richards. Every upgrade in this video will be figures that you can get to add on to the existing figures. So like, I'm not gonna give you Condiment Man, Condiment King for the dual molded legs. Everything in here will be purest form that are still on shelves or on Amazon or on eBay that are cheapable options. So today I want to show you the Ben Grimm. Now, I am on the bridge that I think this figure should have been using a different mold. I don't think you should have used the Incredible Hulk / Big Fig mold as I'm about to show you right here, because I don't know if you can see, Ben Grimm clearly is very small. However, in the movies, he is aligned with a normal minifigure height, such as, let me get him, possibly Superman, possibly Lex Luthor, or possibly even, for a smaller kid, possibly Will Byers from Stranger Things. He should be smaller. However, there are figures that are bigger than most actual humanoid figures, and I immediately go with Garmadon. Now, of course, I don't think that they should have used a Garmadon build because I think it would have looked weird. However, it does beg the question how it would look with it on, because he is more of a taller, broader figure. But the one that I suggest with my friend Liam is the Mr. Incredible build from the Incredibles video game. Now, it's going to be put on screen whether it's on replacing Garmadon or not. I do think it would have been a better option than the big fig that people want. Now, I know people want the big fig such because of LEGO Marvel superheroes, but I do think that the Incredible build is a better representation. But to get to the actual customization I did, was I removed the basic white hands that the figure came with, and I gave him these arms to better match his skin tone. And on camera, it does look a little bit off, but promise me, in person, it does look a little bit, it's much more accurate than it actually is. They're the same hand color in person, but I got these from, got one hand from Omega from Lego Star Wars and one from Hercules from the Lego Disney minifigure series. I think one of them was a little bit more tighter than the other one. I like my figures tighter, so that is done. This is Ben Grimm. Pretty cool torso. I do think, again, Mr. Incredible build is the way to go. Sue Storm. Now, Sue Storm, coming out of Fantastic Four, is my favorite character. I think she was like the heart of the family. Vanessa Kirby played her perfectly. I think she is the perfect Sue Storm / Invisible Woman that we've ever gotten to date, and you can argue about that. But the only upgrade I gave to her was I gave her the Princess Leia head print / head face to better represent Vanessa Kirby. I'll be putting side by side right here to make her look that maybe, yeah, it is maybe a little bit more younger, but I do think this is better than the generic white girl face that they give on DC, Marvel, possibly Star Wars. They gave this face for everyone, but this face came from Princess Leia. I got mine from the Endor set, and I think it looks better. And the other side, I'm doing this one hand, does have the angry face, which she does is she's pretty angry during the movie because, you know, she's a mother. Spoiler alert. But this is the only one. I don't know if there's any more possible things I could do. Now, I was gonna use the what I was gonna do was I was gonna get my Electro figure and do it, but I realized I'm missing a hand, and I think I put this on years ago, but I only have this hand, and it doesn't look great. Well, more or less, this figure's older. When I put this hand on the Sue, it was mad loose, and I do like to pose them around, do some photography, do some stories, and I want Sue to be moving great, but it is a shame that this figure would have been good. I don't know if there's any other upgrades you could give to her except the face. Now, the hair is normal color in IRL. The camera does make it look like it's that Luke Skywalker or classic Thor hair, but trust me, it is the original Sue Storm head hair. Going into the most complicated one in my personal opinion, is none other than Johnny Storm. Now, this is definitely the one that looks the most weird. Out of set, he looks like an idiot. I'm going to put him right to the side. I do think that this figure is much better. Now, what I did to Johnny was I kept the same hair, because I think this is probably the best hair that I have in my collection that I'm willing to spare. Other ones are Luke Skywalker's hair. I mean, not Luke Skywalker's hair. I believe it's the same hair that has from the BTS set in this color, but I don't have him easily accessible right now because he's in a higher display set. I don't really want to get it down. So that is the figure. The torso and legs are the same same as those two behind there, but I used white hands and white arms to give Johnny that white prominent stripe that he has on his suit. I don't have any prominent arms that fit that, so I'm going to put it on the screen, maybe focus on the main star himself, and maybe hopefully it looks better. Now, I gave Johnny the basic Death Star gunner head because I do think it looks better than the one that we got out of set, which was the basic Peter Parker, Scott Lang face that we get in every generic white guy head. It's this head and the one that came with Sue that I replaced, but I do think this one's better. I don't know if I like the face expression too much. I know a lot of people have used the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man head, but I will not be removing that because that is my Spider-Man. That is my guy. I don't want to ruin him. I know it's a simple head swap, but I do think this is probably the best you can get. I do see people using the Luke Skywalker head, and I don't know if that's accurate, but I do think this is probably the best one because I'm going to be showing you off screen right here how he looks. But it's probably the best one I can get, and I think it's probably the best you can get. So I think it is good. And there's no double-sided head, but it looks great. Mr. Fantastic was my favorite character in the movie. I don't know what it is. Maybe because he was the guy that I grew up with in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. That was the quote-unquote main guy that I played as and started every story, every world as. So he was him. But what I simply fixed was I took off Doctor Strange's hair, an extra one I had, and gave it to Mr. Fantastic because he had the normal Superman hairpiece, such as this, just in black. And I do think that the gray on the side do make it more prominent. I'll be putting on a side-by-side comparison of Mr. Fantastic. But what I want to talk about, head. Now, the head is the most frustrating part. Mr. Fantastic, or Pedro Pascal most likely, does not often grow his beard. Now, I do wish his beard was more of a stubble than a full facial hair, but I don't like it. I like the mustache. The skin tone is the normal skin tone that they give the like Latinos, foreign characters that aren't typically American. I do love it. I think it's accurate, and I do love it as well, like I said. But the fixes I want to give to him are removing the head, of course, Alright, back, and it's to give him the Din Djarin head print from The Mandalorian, who is also played by Pedro Pascal. And I do think I think it's good. It's just I'm not a fan of it. I don't know what it means. Like, I don't know what to get. I wish I had this expression with the beard, with this like the stubble, because this figure has the beard that I want, as you can see, the stubbles, but it doesn't have the mustache that I want. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm willing to keep this head on. But the other one, a figure that comes with a perfect head in my personal opinion, is Lego Andor. I want to put the figure on screen right now. I think that this figure has the perfect head for Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, because I want to be showing you off the other character that I have. This is the Cassian Andor figure right here. And I think this is the perfect mix. You have the slight stubble, which looks fantastic, cool, pun intended, and the mustache is perfect. Now, I do wish the hair was darker, but I think I could live with that. This right here would have been the perfect Mr. Fantastic, but as a Latino, I love my representation in media and movies, so I would be keeping this face on. I wish I had a newer Andor figure to keep it with this head, the same skin color, but unfortunately, I do not have that. So if I had a choice to change any head, it would to keep the Cassian Andor figure with this face and body. because I do think that would have been the perfect Reed Richards. I will show you a. I'm gonna try to find, if I can't find one, I'm gonna show you how it looks with it on, because I'm pretty sure I saw a short with someone who had it on him. I think it looks great. Now on camera, it does make the figure almost the same skin color as this in IRL, and it just looks great. I think it looks great, and if you want to switch it around to get that. Wait, what? Oh my god. Did this figure... Oh, it changed. Whoa. But that's the figure with this iconic smirk. I think it would have looked great. That would be my fix-up. But for simplicity reasons, I did just stick with Mr. Fantastic out of the box with the normal out-of-box Mr. Fantastic head and the hairpiece. That is my fix-up for the main four. If you have any suggestions on how to make them better, please leave them down below. Again, Mr. Fantastic, Johnny Storm, Sue Storm, and Ben Grimm. Please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to hear them. If anyone does see this, that is it for today, everyone. Hope you all are healthy today. Hope you all stay warm, stay cool, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone. Good night.